สถานีวิทยุสรานรม AM 1575การทูตเพื่อประชาชน
เพื่อไทยก้าวไกลทันโลก
Sawadika and good afternoon. Welcome to News and Views, and you're here with me, Siddhiประช You're back to watching me again, and I'm live on Facebook right now. So if you are surfing Facebook and looking through stuff, and you happen to come across SaraญรมRadio, be sure to check my program out. But as I've said, News and Views is usually on air 6 to 6:30 every Monday on our radio channel at AM 1575 GHz, as well as on the webpage. And you can also listen to our online streaming at Thailand radio.in.th if I'm not mistaken. But yes, be sure to check out our other programs as well, even though you're not listening to my program. But yes, I'm the only one with the I'm actually the only program on right here on SaraญรมRadio which is broadcasting in full English, of course. Anyways, this is News and Views, of course, and today is Monday, November the 5th. And I'm live Facebook right now. I have 13 minutes on the clock. And before that, my ritual, of course, the weather. The weather has been cooling down a bit, though. I feel that once the sun sets, you can actually enjoy the cool breeze and the cooler weather in the evening as well as in the early mornings. But of course, the temperature, as I see here for across the week, actually, for the whole week is still 32 to 35 degrees Celsius, and then it drops down to about 26 to about 27 degrees at night. So the difference between temperature of around 8 degrees is actually quite stark. So you actually feel it, as in it's cooler because the difference is quite high. But in actuality, 26, 27 degrees Celsius is not very cool. You just feel it because you have been in the heat most of the day during the daytime. So once as the sun sets and the temperature drops, your body just couldn't adapt to the changes that quickly. So that's why you are feeling that the weather is actually getting cooler. But it is actually getting cooler in the north of Thailand. So if you are residing in the north, you can enjoy some of the cooler weather right now, though, especially in the mornings and at night. So be sure if you are in the north, be sure to stay warm during the nighttime, of course, as well as in the morning. But be sure to enjoy the cooler weather as much as you can before it goes away. Anyways, I have a lot on my plate for half an hour. But before that, there's a picture actually making the headlines in front of Bangkok Post today is Ratchayotin underpass opens to traffic. So I haven't been there for a while, to the Ratchayotin area. So I have no idea whether or not the traffic has eased up a bit because with construction everywhere, actually, not just in Bangkok, with road construction everywhere, it tends to give you tougher traffic jams or traffic congestion. So I'm hoping that the underpass which has been recently opened, it will help with the traffic, which also means that more people would be going to Central Lai Prao back once more, even though it's already mostly packed during the weekends anyways. And it's actually my only shopping mall that I go to almost every weekend, even though it's not the closest one to home, but it's the one I frequent most often. I just don't go to Siam Center anymore. Maybe I'm just too old, but I just think that it's too crowded, even though it's easier just to get there on the BTS and everything. But then again, there would be BTS soon at Central Lai Prao too, so hopefully by then traffic would be better and parking spaces would be easier to find. Anyway, back to the story at hand. Right here it says that Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha will preside over the opening of the Ratchayotin underpass this morning. Actually, it was already opened because it's afternoon. So, Prime Minister Prayut Chan-o-cha already opened the Ratchayotin underpass this morning, which is expected to improve traffic flow on Ratchada Pisek, Pahon Yotin and Vipavadi Rangsit roads, among the capital's busiest. Now, the underpass will be formally open to traffic from 10 a.m. today, which is already opened 3 months ahead of schedule. A new construction method was used to build the underpass, which shortened the construction period. It is the third traffic underpass on Rashada Pisek Road and after the Hoi Kwang and Sutisan underpasses. Now, the opening of the 4-lane underpass, however, has been greeted by complaints from motorcyclists who are barred from accessing most underpasses and overpasses in Bangkok. Now, a group of motorcyclists had reiterated its call for a revision of the 2016 traffic regulation that declares most of the city's overpasses and underpasses off limits to motorcycles. Led by Pirasit Jirawong Paisan, about 400 members of the Plot Egg Zhao Song Lo Group yesterday petitioned the Metropolitan Police Bureau, or MPB, to ease the regulation. The group said it was assured by the Traffic and Transport Department that overpasses and underpasses in the city can accommodate all types of vehicles, so it wants the police to take this assurance into consideration and lift the ban. Now, Mr. Pirasit said that since the 2016 traffic regulation was issued by an administrative order, it can be revoked without a court order. Now, the regulation lists 39 overpasses and 6 underpasses which motorcycles are barred from using. Now, according to Panudet Sukwong, Deputy Chief of the Metropolitan Police Division 2, motorcycles are not banned from using the Rashayotin underpass as it is not listed among the city's underpasses where motorcycles are barred from using. Now, Police Colonel Panudet also promised to forward the group's petition to the MPB for consideration. Now, Thanapong Jinawong, Director of the Road Safety Policy Foundation's Academic Center for Road Safety, explained that motorists' eyesight must adjust abruptly to the dim light in the underpass and again when they come out of the other end. This can temporarily inhibit their visual ability, which makes it dangerous for them to use the underpass. Motorcycles are considerably smaller than other vehicles, which means drivers of larger vehicles may not be able to see them clearly. Now, Mr. Thanapong added that as cars tend to accelerate as they travel down an overpass, they may become harder to control, posing risk of death and or serious injuries to motorcyclists. Okay, so hopefully the underpass will help ease traffic as it should. But once again, motorcycles, I'm not trying to be mean or trying to blame them or anything, as I know that it's actually 50-50 with the drivers as well as the 50% chance of other drivers hitting you and 50% chance of you hitting other drivers. So actually, you have to be 150% more careful while driving because you have to watch out for yourself as well as for others. So it's 100% on your side, but then again you have to watch out for another 50% on the other person's side. And as I've mentioned, I'm not trying to be mean and I'm not trying to blame motorcyclists, but motorcyclists tend to drive recklessly since they think that they're smaller and they can get away with anything. But just to give people a more in-depth, because I drive a car and I've never once driven a motorcycle and I know that it's faster and everything, but when a car hits you, you actually get hurt, but the car doesn't get hurt. So I want motorcyclists, or rather motorcyclists, that's right, to be more careful and bear that in mind, because when you do get into an accident with a car, it's actually you who's getting hurt, because a car, there's actually more metal, is actually metal covering your body, but when you're driving a motorcycle, it's actually you covering the motorcycle. So when you drive a motorcycle, I just wish that more motorcyclists would be more careful, because I don't get hurt when I drive a car, when I hit a motorcycle, but the motorcyclist does get hurt, and they just seem to forget that point when they're driving. So they tend to drive recklessly. I'm not blaming all of them, but most of them tend to drive recklessly and they don't watch out for other cars, and they seem to think that they are driving big cars and they just hog most of the road, which is impossible for others to drive with them. So please, motorcyclists, be careful, be more careful on the road, because even though I'm trying to watch out 50% more for you guys as well as other cars. It's accidents do happen still. So, and we try to prevent that. So be careful while driving out there and be sure to drive more safely, just to, anything can happen. Life is unpredictable as it is. If you can have a hand in trying to keep your life safe or extend your life longer for another day, please do. I don't know what else I can do because I'm one of the drivers with a car out there, and we tend to be careful as much as we can, and I know that many motorcyclists do so as well, but others don't. So I just want other motorcyclists who just seems to think that they can just, get away with just driving fast enough without having a care in the world to be more careful, because it is kind of hard out there to drive in Bangkok's roads nowadays, and it's hectic and people just trying to get where they are. So please be careful out there while driving on the roads, not just motorcyclists but drivers, motorists as well. Anyways, last week the helicopter of the president of Leicester City's football club, Mr. Wichai, what's his surname again? I've forgotten. Right, I have here. See, Watanaprapa crashed and it killed him as well as 4 other people on board. So a lot of stories are being covered about that because his funeral began yesterday. It's a royal cremation, of course, and he was. It's royally sponsored as well. So Bangkok Post is actually having an article on the front page right there, but I actually have a full article from BBC UK. BBC, of course, is from the UK right here, so I'll just go ahead and read that. Leicester City players are in Thailand for the funeral of the club's owner who was killed in a helicopter crash last week. Now, Jamie Vardy and club captain Wes Morgan are among the players who attended a prayer ceremony at a Bangkok temple for Wichai Watanaprapa's funeral. Now, it began on Saturday with Buddhist bathing rituals and is being followed by a week of recitation ceremonies. Now, the helicopter crashed after taking off from the club stadium on October the 27th, killing Mr. Wichai and 4 others. The Leicester players travelled to Thailand on the 12-hour flight on Saturday after winning 1-0 at Cardiff City in Premier League in the first game since his death. Now, they joined Sunday's Buddhist prayers for Mr. Wichai and will do so again on Monday before arriving back in the UK the following day to prepare for their home match against Burnley on Saturday. Now, press agency AFP reported that on entering the temple, players gave Mr. Wichai's family a hug and then offered jasmine flowers as they knelt in front of an octagonal jewelled urn given by the king. Now, England defender Harry Maguire and manager Claude Puel are also among those who have travelled, but a few players have not, including Demarai Gray, who scored the winning goal at Cardiff. Now, many of the squad, including Vardy, Morgan and goalkeeper Kasper Schmeichel, have spoken of the huge impact the Thai billionaire had on them and the club. Now, Jonathan Head, the BBC South East Asia correspondent, said, "This is a more formal atmosphere than the players will have experienced during the moving tributes to Mr. Wichai in Britain. But it is their farewell to him and will doubtless be an emotional occasion for them." Princess Siriwanwari Nari Ratana also attended the second day of the Wichai's funeral. Nusara Suknamai Kaveporn Gaweporn Punper, a pilot Caveporn Punpere pilot Eric Swaffer and his partner Isabella Rosa Lejovic also died in the crash at the King Power Stadium. Now, Miss Nusara's funeral took place in Bangkok on Saturday. The 32-year-old, who was a member of Mr. Wichai's staff, was a runner-up in Miss Universe in 2005, where she was listed as being from Bangkok province. Now, the Air Accidents Investigation Branch, or AAIB, is conducting a probe into the cause of the crash. All right, so rest in peace and many condolences to the family of Mr. Wishai, who is a billionaire as well as the president of King Power and also the president of Leicester City Football Club. So right now the probe is still ongoing and we have no idea what happened, but I will be updating you on what had happened if once there is an update on that. So right, about 4 minutes, so and half program mark. I'll be back in just a moment, so do stay tuned. Let's take a short break.
I'm hurting, baby. I'm broken down. I need your loving, I need it now. When I'm without you, I'm something weak. You got me begging, I'm on my knees. I don't wanna be needing your love, I just wanna be deep in your love. And it's killing me when you're away. Oh baby, 'cause I really don't care where you are, I just wanna be there where you are. And I gotta get one little taste. Sugar, yes please, won't you come and put it down on me? I'm right here, 'cause I need a little love and a little sympathy. Yeah, you show me good loving, make it alright. Need a little sweetness in my life. Sugar, yes please, won't you come and put it down on me? My broken pieces, you pick 'em up. Don't leave me hanging, come give me some. When I'm without you, so insecure. You are the one thing I'm living for. I don't wanna be needing your love, I just wanna be deep in your love. And it's killing me when you're away. Oh baby, 'cause I really don't care where you are, I just wanna be there where you are. And I gotta get one little taste. Sugar, yes please, come and put it down on me. I'm right here, 'cause I need love and a little sympathy. Show me good loving, make it alright. Need a little sweetness in my life. Sugar, yes please, come and put it down on me. I want that red velvet, I want that sugar sweet. Don't let nobody touch it unless that somebody's me. I gotta be a man, there ain't no other way. 'Cause girl, you're hotter than a Southern California day. I don't wanna play no games, you don't gotta be afraid to give me all that shash, no makeup on, and that's my sugar. Come and put it down on me. I'm right here, 'cause I need love and a little sympathy. Show me good loving, make it alright. Need a little sweetness in my life. Sugar, yes please, come and put it down on me. Little love and a little sympathy.
Alright, welcome back. That was Sugar, originally performed by Maroon 5, one of my favorite singers of all time, of course, Adam Levine. Also dreamy. Who doesn't like him? Anyways, back to the story at hand. Beckham was actually in Bangkok on Saturday. I just found out. It says, right, right now, actually. So yeah, he was here on a promotional tour, as it says here that he did some training and met fans at Muang Thong's FC's SCG Stadium, and then at Impact Exhibition Centre as part of a sponsored promotional event, and then it's part of an AIA football clinic for youth. With leading coaches event that also coincided with the AIA Thailand's 80th anniversary. So he says that he's very excited to be here with you all and to play a bit of football. So he also gave interviews and conducted passing and dribbling drills with prospective young players. So yeah, Beckham is always going to be in the hearts of people, and of course, he is still hot. Yeah, but David Beckham. There you go. Anyways, if you want more stories on that, that's actually a big picture of him on page 3 on the back of the post. So if you haven't got a copy, go ahead and grab one. Right, I actually saw a story about something that's quite interesting, and I wanted to show you guys, and I just couldn't find it. Okay, so it says here that Thai English proficiency drops. So survey says 63 countries doing better. Thailand has dropped 11 spots in the proficiency rankings for non-native English-speaking countries. The kingdom is now ranked 64th among the 88 listed countries and territories in the EF English Proficiency Index 2018. This year, ranking conducted by Switzerland-based Education First, a language school operator with branches worldwide, is based on test data from 1.3 million adults who took the EF Standard English Test or EF SET last year. In the latest results, Thailand has a score of 48.54, which is classified as low proficiency. In 2017, Thailand was 53rd, 49.7 out of 80 countries, and was also categorized in the low proficiency band. Sweden tops the EF English Proficiency Index 2018 with 70.7, bumping last year's top scorer, the Netherlands, 70.3, into second place. Singapore ranked third with 68.6 rather, followed by Norway at 68.3 and Denmark at 67.3 rather. Libya is ranked at the bottom with a score of 39.64 behind Iraq, Uzbekistan, Cambodia and Afghanistan. Among Asian countries, Singapore's tops, of course, but I just wanted to say that it's actually alarming because English is actually one of the most important languages in the world. I'm not saying that other languages aren't important, but we still use the English language as a working language. So even though China is on the rise and other languages are still important, because even though you wanted to live in other countries that doesn't speak English, it's still important. Most of the countries around the world still use English. So English proficiency is quite important, and I know that I'm lucky because I got a chance to actually live abroad when I was young. So English is not a problem for me, but I think that is one of the most important languages in the world. So, and it's important for the next generation, the Thai generation, the next generation of Thais to be able to communicate at least in English better than they are now. And we are trying. I know that we are trying a lot better, and it is improving in a way. Well, as the results show, we're not improving, but I would say that a lot of youngsters or youth nowadays realize how important it is, and they try to get the chance and the opportunity to go and live abroad just so that they would come back packed with an extra experience and an extra skill to be able to communicate in English. So yes, parents out there, English is important, and I know that there is a difference with work and jobs and salary and whatever not, and we try to give our kids the best opportunity that we can in this life. But I'm just saying that if you get the chance, be sure to give them the best opportunity they can to learn another language. Having 2-3 languages is a benefit for them, because as you know, we're not going to live forever, and in the future we won't be able to look out for them as well as we can now. So whatever you can give them, whatever chance that you can actually give to your children, be sure to do so. And bear in mind that even though Thai is important, English is still the English language will still remain to be one of the most important languages in the world. And if you get the chance, be sure to feed them a lot of languages. I mean, I would like to be able to speak 5 languages, even though I know that I'm getting old. older. I just don't want to say I get old, that I am old, but I'm getting older. And even though I'm planning to learn more languages, as at least I want to get in more, or at least 2 more. I'm still trying to find the time, because as you get older, there is less and less time. So it's best to start younger, and it's actually a benefit for you, and it's a skill set that you can't everybody else can't compete with you, and it's actually something that you have to do it for yourself and compete with yourself. So if you can do it, it's something that will be best for you and not someone else. So just bear that in mind. And of course, another top story that has been circling around the country last week is a rap song about the Thai language is actually Prahet Gumi, but then it's translated somewhat literally in what my country's got. It's a rap group called Rap Against Dictatorship, and actually the officials have been trying to ban it, but as you know, it's actually backfiring, because the more you ban it, the more people would like to hear it. So the police have tried another tactic, and they actually allow people to just listen to it, and they're trying to promote other stuff that they're doing, like the government and stuff like that. There's actually a piece right here on Life from Bangkok Post, which is quite interesting. They're saying that political campaignings have been using music to actually I don't want to say brainwash, but they're trying to influence us through songs for a long time, and the government has been doing so, and it's not anything different from what the rappers are doing right now. So it is actually a form of expression that I think is the easiest for people to understand, because you just actually have to listen to it. You don't have to have a feedback to it. So it's actually one of the most influential tool that you can actually use. So this piece right here is actually evaluating that. So if you are interested in reading about that, I think that it's a good piece to actually get to know. And because I studied media, well, I actually studied communications, and I think that it's interesting of how you can actually factor in things and see how they actually disrupt or make communication more effective. So this is actually an interesting thing for me to read about. So that isn't, because I'm running out of time, I just don't have time to go through the whole article with you. So if you are interested about that, and communications and the media and a culture, because it's interrelated, is very interesting. And I think that it's actually worth looking into in an analytical point of view. So right, anyways, yeah, so we still have to look about that. And if you haven't listened to the song, go ahead and do. I mean, some of the stuff they're saying is right, but then some of the stuff they're saying is black and white. It's gray. It's a gray area. Everything in this world is actually a double-edged sword. So not everything is right and not everything is wrong. So something might be right for one person, but it might be wrong for the other. So when you're judging people, be sure to keep that in mind. Anyways, a ministry update before I go, and it's an official visit to Thailand by the Prime Minister of Malaysia. So His Excellency Tun Dr. Mahathir bin Mohamad, Prime Minister of Malaysia, was actually in Thailand on October the 24th to the 25th, along with his spouse, and they enjoyed their time here in Thailand, where he went and met with the Prime Minister, of course, and then Dr. Mahathir also gave a lecture at Chulalongkorn University. So if you're looking for more details on that, it's up on the ministry's webpage. Before I go, fun facts. There's a town in Poland where everything is decorated with paintings of flowers, and it's called Slippy, and I looked into it, and it's pretty. If you are interested in seeing that, go ahead and look at it. And of course, ending quotes, to control your destiny, you don't need magic to do it, and there are no magical shortcuts to solving your problems. And of course it's right, and that's from Brave. Anyways, if you want to write to me, be sure to do so. The address is 443 Rama 6 Road, Ratchathewi District, Thailand, Bangkok 10400. And of course, I am Siritsa Prashumyat, and this is News and Views, and I'll see you again next week. Until then, have a great week. Sawasdee ka.
ได้ดูชุดที่สั่งตัดมา
พิเศษลบที่ผ่